What up guys, it's Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and it is time for a more somber video following news yesterday of the passing of the Prodigy's lead man Keith Flint. And I was thinking for a while yesterday about what video I should do today, and then I heard of this news, and I just thought there'll never be a better time to talk about someone so important and influential to the thing that I am most passionate about. So yeah, I'm just going to take this opportunity to pay tribute to the legend that was Keith Flint, who unfortunately passed away over the weekend at the age of 49. I'm still quite shocked. This man was such an essential figure for electronic music, and not just any electronic music, but dark and heavy electronic music, which of course is what this channel is all about. I wasn't so much a conscious individual when their third and biggest album, The Fat of the Land, was released in 1997, but I did grow up listening to the main singles from that album, tracks like the legendary Firestarter, Breathe and Smack My Bitch Up. And then after that, as I grew older and became more aware of how much I enjoyed those tracks and that style, I got into all of their albums. And whilst the instrumentals were undoubtedly huge and revolutionary, completely in owing to the big beat genre name, the thing that struck me most was the sheer presence of Flint on every track he was on. This man was a fantastically wild, manic, alive individual who captured what it meant to be a part of British counterculture in the mid-90s. Through the recordings of said tracks, but even more so when performing them to thousands of people, I now feel extremely grateful to have seen him and the Prodigy play live in 2011. And when I hear this music now, as I have done a fair bit over the last day or so, it just takes me straight back to my youth, and it's as if now my younger self and what that era kind of represented is being melded with myself now, that which loves this kind of music. And so much of that is down to his sheer presence and energy as a performer, for which I am eternally grateful he provided. It's a mostly slightly younger audience subscribed to this channel who may not be fully aware of the influence of this man, so I think it's important also to let you guys know that nothing you listen to now would be here without him. It just shows in the amount of high-profile bass producers who have tweeted out in love for him over the last 24 hours or so. The music was incredible, of course, as I said, but it was the energy and personality of Flint that translated that even further, exponentially, if you will. He captured what it meant to be young and daring and ambitious through electronic music, giving rave culture life and presence and meaning in the world. The figurehead for everything that was emanating from this scene, he was the face of this new direction for electronic music in the mid to late 90s, the Prodigy taking the big beat style of music established by the Chemical Brothers down darker, more attitudinal avenues. Arguably one of the biggest paradigm shifts in electronic music, and because of which a lot of the heavier stuff we hear today is here. Firestarter in particular, in large part thanks to that vocal from Flint, very much defined that era, and I don't even think that's a very far-fetched thing to say at all. I think it's perfectly reasonable. This kind of controlled anarchy, letting loose within the comfort zone of a dance floor, releasing all of your pent-up energy and frustration through the music. But perhaps more importantly through Flint, the voice of those people at that time. The big beat genre is seen to have died for the most part at the start of this century, but the Prodigy and others such as the Chemical Brothers and Fatboy Slim, another integral act in big beat music, have kept going on into the 2000s to achieve legendary status and still translate that sound today. As you all probably know, the Prodigy's latest album, No Tourists, was released only a few months ago. Not only this, but the Prodigy are also legendary for their monstrous sales over the decades, 30 million records sold and 7 UK #1 albums, which is absolutely obscene for any act, let alone an electronic music one. That will never happen again with a strictly electronic music band. It just won't, and Flint spearheaded that, the godfather of rave. Not so much the brains behind the Prodigy, but certainly the personality, bravado, appeal, everything that there was to love about the band was channeled through him. He actually started out as a dancer for the band, but they liked his charisma so much that they gave him the lead role. Simultaneously terrifying and mesmerizing, an incredibly unique, iconic individual who we'll never see the like of again. As I alluded to earlier, first and foremost, he ensured the Prodigy appealed to young people of its time in a way because of how much bigger rave culture was back then. But that energy still holds today, and I really encourage watchers of this channel to check their music out. Not only because they are legends and that without them there wouldn't be a lot of what we love today, but also because it will speak to you like no other music that's around right now will. And trust me on that. To my knowledge, they also introduced drop culture to the world in an emphatic way like no one else had before. And Flint fronted all of that. The man who put punk on the dance floor, the ambassador of rave culture. He also made electronic music accessible to metalheads, which was fantastic as a little crossbreed of styles. You just watch videos of him and you cannot help but think, oh my god, you know, what a legend. He was just so happy as well to be exactly who he was at a time when this exact sort of character was being rejected and shunned by the hierarchy. Truly inspiring. I'd honestly be surprised if there isn't a film made about him at some point. He was that influential. So yes, I think it's an incredibly sad thing that he has passed, and I think we should use this chance and time to really appreciate him as a character and also what he did for electronic music over the decades. A hero for this scene. And that'll be that for today, folks. I hope you've been able to resonate on some level with what I've said, whether you did grow up listening to Flint and the Prodigy or not. And I shall see all of you in the next one. Peace and rest in power, Keith Flint.